courtesy Graham Burrell. This weekend is the big one, the fierce Lincolnshire Derby, in which form and quality often goes out of the window. Last season, despite Grimsby having a terrible time, we drew 0-0 at their place, and we've only done the double once in 40 years over our foes. Ahead of the game, we've been chatting to Grimsby Town fan Alex of the DN35 podcast, where we laid out the same 7 questions we gave to Ben from Swindon Town last week. We've packaged them a bit differently, but it still smells a bit like a new feature. Like every new feature, I suspect I'll get a bit bored in a week or two and drop it. Anyway, for now, here are 7 questions, which are actually 8 or 9, we asked the Grimsby Town fan. Snow, sunshine and a 3-goal salvo to beat our friends from the coast, courtesy of Graham Burrell. 1. It's the big one, certainly in terms of hostility and location. Are Lincoln your big derby? Do you think these days there's almost a shared respect after our recent struggles? We don't have another local rival down here. I certainly detest Franchise FC and Stevenage more. I quite like you lot. I was worried you would go out of business a few years ago. Attendances were in the toilet and those town fans I know wished you well and wanted you to do well. You can stop now though. For our younger fans who have grown up in the lower leagues or even non-league, it's probably massive to them. Those of us who grew up in a time of Buckley and good football, we didn't share a league with local rivals, and as such we kind of drifted, picking up adversaries as we went. For a while it was Sheffield Wednesday as we battled to avoid dropping out of Division 1, or anyone from Yorkshire tended to get some half-hearted grief. In my 25 years as a Grimsby fan, we have only ever played Scunthorpe twice in the league and have never met Hull at all aside from friendlies and in the once legitimate but sadly no more Football League trophy. See what I did there? As we started to meet you in the league, the novelty of having a proper local team to play was of great interest. I remember cycling from Blundell Park to Sincil Bank together for charity, but I think rivalries need to be built on teams having the upper hand on one another for a while. If I keep seeing banners banging on about shadows and eternity, don't worry, it might be the beginning of something new. 0-0, but Matt Green has 3-3 this season, courtesy Graham Burrell. 2. How do you feel the season has started and what are your hopes going forward? Forest Green was a punch to the gut, and the scoreline, believe it or not, might have even flattered us. Macclesfield was much more like it, but it's far too early to tell. I believe we have the right man in charge and will probably finish mid-table and continue to build. We seem to be bringing in the right sort of players, but it will take time to challenge you or the automatic spots again. My worry is Jolly will go and the carousel of chaos will start all over again, with Fenty picking a guy out of a tombola or asking the first guy he sees at a wedding to have a go. 3. John Fenty. Discuss. Even up until June last year I wasn't totally sure. I couldn't work out if he was either a well-intentioned idiot, or a slum landlord just letting us slowly rot away. But now it's hard to argue he is anything but a danger to the club. We are dying slowly like a frog in a boiling pot. His list of errors runs long, and those below barely scratch the surface. Suggesting female fans were smuggling pyros in his tampons. Ambushing a BBC reporter at a fans forum for simply doing his job. Threatening to pull out his investment if the supporters' trust didn't hand over their shares. Breaking a child's flag in anger during a game in a tour of the ground, uttering the sentence, "We even have a sink for the lady referees," replacing an award-winning slow with a club employee who doesn't attend away games.